at our Bellflower campus. And here's his story. Just take a look.
I came to Eastside the fall of 2011. My wife was at a care facility, and I found out it was very close to the care facility where I could see my wife, and I was there a lot. So I went, and I never left. Eastside has been a great home for me. I didn't have much of a home, obviously, after my wife passed away. I could be having a meltdown, and many times I did. I was just crying out because I didn't understand what was happening. But being around others and even having someone just say a kind word, that was the first step to healing, knowing that I actually had a family around me. The Celebrate Recovery programs, specifically Grief Share, was the ministry that helped me unpack just everything that was happening to me. I mean, mentally, physically, emotionally. And just the few interactions I had with people really opened up my eyes to see that there were a lot of other people going through similar things that I was dealing with. And that I could have a conversation and knew I would be understood. That's when things really started to change, where I lost the anxiety felt by the boards. I started to find joy. I have brothers and sisters I can talk to now. I have a church family that, come hell or high water, they got my back, and I've got theirs. I don't know what I would have done without it.
What a great reminder, right? That sometime God sends you back to the place He delivered you from in order to help others too. We got a plaque in my office at home that I've had for many years. It was handmade by an 81-year-old widow when I was going through a very difficult Christmas many years ago after a marriage breakdown and divorce. And she mounted some dried leaves and flowers, and she put them in this glass frame with her own arthritic hand, and she wrote in this plaque the words, "God will make a way." And to be honest with you, I really wondered at the time if God could make a way for me. Any of you there right now? If God could deliver me in that season of trial and hardship. And there were moments that I felt there was no hope. There were moments of loneliness and isolation and regret that were so intense. I felt my life was ruined, that God could never use me again. And it was hard to see any way out. It was hard to see any light at the end of the tunnel. And then somebody gave me a worship tape. Anybody remember cassette tapes? You're dating yourself. And on that worship tape, there was a song that I must have played over and over again 1,000 times. And the song just said, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely to his side, with love and strength for each new day. God will make a way. He will make a way. And you know what? He did. And that song, God Will Make a Way, kind of became my theme song. Anybody who knew me well, that's like, hey, that's Gene's song. And so an 81-year-old widow with arthritic hands makes a plaque that wouldn't mean anything to you when you look at it, but I'm telling you, it means the world to me, more than you'll ever know. I want to bring up an image here of some candles burning for a very specific reason today. These candles represent, for many of you, someone in your life who passed away this year. But their memory will continue to flicker in your heart and in your soul always. These candles represent the loss of parents, siblings, friends, colleagues, even sadly some children. Some who didn't make it to their birth or who went to be with Jesus shortly thereafter. Some who in a moment of depression decided to end their own life. Some whose lives were slowly taken away by a disease. Some who were instantly transported to heaven by a heart attack or an accident. These represent moms and wives, husbands and fathers, friends, loved ones. And each one is important to you, and it's important to us as a community and to God. And today we just want to remember them. And we want to pray for you as you head into Christmas. So in just a moment, if you've lost a loved one this year, I'm going to ask you to stand at every campus so that we can remember your loved ones and so that we can pray for you. And I promise you, it's not going to be weird. We would just be honored to pray at every location and venue today with you and for you during this time. There's a second group I want to invite to stand as well, and that is maybe you've lost someone dear to you in a previous year, even a long time ago. But you just still feel that loss very deeply at Christmas time. Particularly, it's felt in a keen way. And I get that. My dad died 49 years ago. I still think about him every Christmas. A couple years ago, it was my mom. And I just feel like this is a time as a family, a church family, and as a community that's really important for us. So if I've just described you in one of these two groups, we would like to pray for you today. And so would you just right now at every location, you don't need to be afraid, and I know it'll take a little bit of courage, but would you just stand right now so we can pray for you? Thanks for your courage to stand. Look at that. It's overwhelming, right? Sometimes the hardest thing we can do is admit that we have a need. Now at Eastside, nobody stands alone. God is close, and we are close to each other. So Eastside family, could I ask you now to stand as a sign of your support, that we're standing with these people in prayer today? And as you do, if someone stood by you a moment ago to indicate a loss in their life, would you just put maybe a gentle hand on their elbow or on their shoulder, not in a creepy kind of way, okay? Just in a way that says we care for you and we mourn with you. We mourn with those who mourn. And I'm going to pray, and then our worship team is going to lead us in a powerful song, and we're just going to boldly declare that Jesus is our deliverer and he is our rock on which we will stand. Let's bow our heads together for prayer. God, for every person who's had the courage to stand a moment ago, I hope that as I pray, they feel your closeness, your presence, your peace, your power. I thank you that we don't walk alone. I thank you for giving us each other. And for those who feel a hand on their shoulder or their elbow right now, God, would you help them know that really that's your hand. Be close to them. Be the Prince of Peace in their lives. Give them a peace that passes understanding. And God, in your time, in your way, work all things together for good. God, today we remember right now the men, the women, the sons, the daughters, the moms, the dads, the children who are no longer with us. And we thank you for them. We are so grateful they were a part of our lives. And we just pray that you would be our comforter and our strength. And Lord, I can't help but think that our neighborhoods, our schools, workplaces, families are just filled with people who need this kind of hope, who need this kind of peace for their souls. And maybe you could use us to help deliver them with the power you've delivered us. So I pray that that would happen in the Christmas at Eastside experiences, and that you'll really use those services just to bring hope to others, not just into our lives, but their lives as well. And we lift all these prayers today, God, in the name of our Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ. And everybody said, Amen.
The rock on which I stand, and everything around me shaking. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause He's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would He fail now? He won't. He won't. I've still got joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense. So I won't be going under. I'm not held by my own strength.
that needs that same hope. They need the hope that God cares, that He knows, and that He loves, and that He did something about it by sending His Son. So in the next couple days, you and I have a unique opportunity to invite the people in our lives to come hear that message of hope. On your way out, grab some invite cards and be praying about who you can invite to come with you to Christmas at Eastside. And at every exit, there are Compassion team members that would love to talk to you about global trips. And if this is your first time, swing by and get that gift that's waiting for you at Guest Central. Can't wait to see you back next week. Have a good one, Eastside.